So are you back at the arena?
Hopefully, yes, along with lots of other arena gigs. So we have lots of rescheduled stuff for 2021. So watch this space. The Facebook page will have all the events lists, and on the website www.ultra90s.com, and any ticket info and stuff about those gigs will all go on our events list and up on the website as well.
Great. So I don't know if you've ever been to the Nottingham Arena. Is it Motorpoint Arena? Is it Motorpoint Arena? It's huge, and unfortunately I missed the last time that they did it, but I had a lot of friends that decided to contact me and say, oh, it was amazing. So I was well gutted that I did not manage to get there that night.
It was
but
a highlight.
Rest assured, a lot of my friends from school all went and they loved it.
Excellent.
So are we going to, in the next arena ones next year, is there going to be anyone else joining you at all? Anyone?
Yes, there will be. As we did at the start of this year, we're working with Kelly Lorena, Capella, Urban Cookie Collective, 𝐅𝐨𝐥𝐥𝐿, and Luzanne, Live in Joy, and Baby D. Yes, for all the drum and bass fans out there.
If you're of the same age group, you know who. You don't even need to be introduced to those people. You know who they are, and these guys deliver the tunes amazing. The show's fantastic. So, to a lot of people out there, you've been asking a few random questions, and this particular one is it's not random, it's a little bit, but they want to know, what lipstick do you wear?
What lipstick do I wear? Well,
yes.
It's not. What was it? Something Twilight. It's not that. It's
Rimmel Twilight.
Rimmel Twilight. No, it's definitely not that. I think it's actually, is it Mark 1 from Avon?
Mark 1?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the colour is.
Good old Avon.
Yeah.
Whip that book round. Do you want anything from Avon? We can just fill out a form.
That was very 90's, wasn't it? Everyone had Avon.
Avon and Tupperware. Yeah. My mum was always having a Tupperware party. So any time I got fed. No, I'm joking. Right. So one of the big questions a lot of you out there have asked about is actually, Kelly, how long has Ultra 90's been performing for?
Ultra 90's will be 12 years old this December. 12
years old.
Yes, 2008.
And where was your first ever gig doing Ultra 90's?
Our first ever gig was actually in our hometown in Grantham, at I don't even know what it's called now. What's it called, Leah?
It's a cafe.
It is a cafe. It is a cafe, yeah. It used to be a place called K Passa and Infernos.
Ah.
And you've played there too. Yeah, she has. Because we went to see her. No, it was Infernos at the time, and we did like a random like Tuesday night kind of thing, and yeah, that was cool.
I believe it was absolutely jam-packed, wasn't it? Hardly anyone could get in.
It was pretty busy for a Tuesday.
If you didn't get there early, you weren't getting in. Are you back at the Glider next year?
Yes, we are, I believe. I think the date is in question at the moment, though. So, again, watch the events. The list will be updated as and when, and be able to check with the venue as well.
And just so that people know, for these events and next year's tours, do they get the tickets from you, or is there somewhere they can get them from now? Or
generally, with a lot of the bigger gigs, it's all online, so it will be either Skiddle or Ticketmaster or wherever.
And
so
will you be putting links on yours?
All of the links will be available on the events.
So if you want to get any of the tickets for next year, if you're not quite sure where to go to the Ultra 90's onto yours at your website
or Facebook page.
And what is your website?
Ultra90s.com.
Ultra90s.com. So go on there and you'll find all the links for everything. And also, is it right if you've got can you buy merchandise on there?
You can.
What can we get for our merch?
What can we get? Well, we can get funky masks. There's lots of cool designs. We've got the t-shirts, lots of different t-shirts, lots of different designs, lots of different shapes and stuff. Redbubble.com, Ultra 90's on there for loads of stuff. There's like badges and like just loads of things like cases for you. Where's yours?
Where's mine? No. I just thought I'd put it on and if you want to see what it looks like.
Just sport one.
Well, I got one. Has none of you guys got one?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. I'll just put it on for you. I'm going to ask the guys, is there anything that you do ritually behind the scenes before you start? What's your ritual?
We do, don't we? We have a little thing that we do. Often we get into doing press-ups. But I think that's not happened
that
for
you?
a little while.
I don't spearhead it. I can't not join in.
Do you do the whole
normally Corey.
press up?
Sometimes.
These weak arms, no.
No, we
Just
do.
the girls then.
Just the girls. No, we often do press ups just to like get pumped and stuff before a show, because that's quite cool. And we have this little thing that we do, which we'll show you.
Yeah.
Woo! And then we're like, yeah, let's have it. Ultra 90s.
Chris and myself tend to do a lot of hopping behind the.
Yeah, you do.
Lots
hop.
of jumping before we start.
Yeah, lots of like
Yeah.
jumping and stuff. Once the intro is playing, everyone's like backstage, like, yeah, we ready,
Hype.
guys? Come on, woo woo!
Well, I can understand why, because like I say, I've seen the show, so it's like you can't help yourself. So even when you're I know that you're watching now, and you'll start on your sofa. You won't stay on your sofa, so believe me. So just go and get a bit of cutlery and use it as your microphone. A hairbrush is always good. So Chris, is there any other instruments that you play?
Yeah, so I play the keys. I play bass guitar as well.
Very, very well.
Thank
Indeed.
You have to excuse Chris. Chris is the man behind loads of things, and he quite likes being away. He doesn't like to answer so many questions. So, Chris, elaborate on more instruments.
Bass and keys mainly. Play a little bit of drums, a little bit of guitar. Yeah,
Do you
music
write
stuff.
anything? Do you like
Yeah,
write your own
yeah,
songs
yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah, we've been working on a sort of synth wave sort of thing.
Yeah,
When's
that's
that
quite
gonna
cool.
when's that gonna happen?
We don't know. It's slow. Every time we decide that we're gonna do it, like something else comes up.
Crops
and,
up like
yeah.
Like this.
coronavirus.
Like coronavirus. Yeah, that
Coronavirus.
just drops in
Yeah.
there.
So, but
then-
yeah. Also, you need to. Is that again on your socials? Check out for when it might
No,
happen.
not
it's
really.
not
What's it
ready
called
yet,
again?
is it?
What's
It's called Borkatas.
Borkatas.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
that.
which is my thing.
Racatacatacus.
I think
So-
what the people watching really need to know, because he wouldn't say it himself, is that all that goes on behind the scenes is down to Chris. It's all of the lighting that you see, all of the imagery, all of the visuals, everything that goes on that you see on screen and you see if you've come to a gig, is all inside this man's head to begin with.
It's true.
And then somehow between all of us, we kind of, it comes out and it becomes a real thing, and then we can be able to bring you something like this, the Ultra 90's experience, bringing it into your home rather than you actually coming out to see us when we can't do that kind of thing at the moment. So
I mean, I've been to see these guys live, and it is awesome. It's just one of those and it's one of those where you keep looking at your watch thinking, I don't want it to end. I'm going to move over to Corey now. He will be in the show and you'll see him all over the place. But I'm also going to ask you, my main question to you, Corey, is what got you involved? How did you get involved with Ultra 90's?
Well, back in 2018, I was at this volunteer thing, and Kelly and Chris were also working there, volunteering, and they asked me if I wanted to do a gig. I said yes. Didn't know what I was letting myself in for.
So
No,
how
it's
long's that
brilliant.
been? How long have you been with them?
2 years, just
2
in
years.
2
2
years.
years?
Yeah, 2
Wow.
years.
And I take it you've enjoyed every minute.
Yeah, of course. It's
You
amazing.
just get to play, don't you? Really? You know what I mean. Play like you're basically getting paid to do something you obviously love.
Yes.
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 Big time with some wonderful
100%.
people.
With amazing people.
Oh, and you're cutie. So back over to deck. How old are you?
29.
29.
Yeah.
And you're playing in a 90's band. So
Yeah.
you're quite young then, weren't you?
Yeah, I don't really remember the 90s very much.
No. So what made you go for the ad if it said Ultra 90's and you were like, well, my mum's listened to a bit of that. Mum has it on the radio.
I did actually consult her, but no, I went onto the page and had a look at the show, and really, because the videos they had up there, the professional show that was put out, that drew me into answering the ad, into listening to the band,
Yeah.
and then ultimately listening to more 90s dance music.
Right, which made you? Because what do you? If you were at home, what would you listen to?
A bit of everything really, but I grew up on heavy metal stuff.
Right.
But since playing with these guys and
The
getting
90s.
more into the commercial
Deck,
dance.
it's always good to have variety in your life.
Some may
It
say
is.
it's the spice, but you know. And-
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love 90s music, absolutely. But like, I still like my 80s stuff from when I was growing up as a kid, and you know, and I like a bit of the noughties and stuff. So, but I think 90s for me was like, I just left school, and I was going out raving and pretending about my age that you know, I was really 18 when I was only 16, scratching out my NUS card, changing the date. Can you remember your it was NUS?
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. I had an NUS card at college.
Yeah.
You must have had one at college too.
Oh, my dad helped me fake one.
What a hero!
How did you do that then?
Got hold of the NUS card and we laminated it. You remember those plastic pockets for A4 paper that you put in folders?
Yeah.
We used that as a laminator sort of thing. It's a NUS card. I don't think it had photo ID on it either, so I was just called somebody else.
Sid.
Sid.
Sid the
Amazing.
Stud. And now we're going to talk to some of the musos in the Ultra 90s group, and we're going to go to Richard. Richard, how long have you been in Ultra 90s?
I've been playing with Ultra 90s in one form or another for the past 9.5 years, I think it's been.
9.5
9.5
years.
9.5 years. A little while. December 2010.
And what is it you play?
I play guitar.
Play guitar.
Yeah.
Right, and I take it how did you get involved actually? Were you a massive 90s fan or how did you
I used to
meet
play in a
Curtis?
bar, and one of the other people that worked there, Laurie, she was involved, and just through mutual connections, we met one Halloween.
Whoa.
And they invited me out on a gig a little bit later, and we did a wedding. We did PA at a wedding.
Yeah, wedding.
Yes, you weren't even playing back then.
No,
That
I
was
wasn't.
Just,
I was.
just
I
involved
was.
in...
I was doing what Corey does now. Yeah. Many moons ago.
And whereabouts was that? Was that like local or?
Well, the gig.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Leeds, I think.
Leeds, yeah, up
Was it
north.
somewhere
It was
Leeds,
cold.
yeah.
I remember it being
I
very
remember it was cold, yeah.
So how old are you, Richard, for the girls back home?
I have to think about that. It's my birthday recently. 33.
33. So who's the youngest in the group?
Corey.
Corey.
100%
How old are you, Corey?
I'm 20.
20. Oh, I can
He's not
remember
even
being that.
21.
20.
Oh, I don't know if I can remember being 20.
So there's a few young guys out there, I know, lads, that are, you like the music, but I do know you like to watch the dancing, the young dancers. But I am going to ask the dancers a question. I want to know, how long have you been with Ultra 90s and how long have you been dancing professionally? How did it all start off? Where did you start first? Where did you train?
I trained at the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts, and I went to Shock Out in Manchester, and I've been with Ultra 90s for about 2 years.
Yeah, I think it's about 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, yeah.
Oh, and how old are you?
I'm 25.
It's 25.
That's Candice, by the way.
Oh, Candice, 25. And
I'm Emma.
Emma.
I'm the dance captain. I've been working with Ultra 90s for 9 years, quite a long time.
wow.
A long time. I remember doing the little showcases that was just me
Oh,
on the
yeah.
side of the stage, just podium dancing. Then Kelly asked me to do some choreography.
Yeah.
And we've been working together ever since. Loved
Yeah,
it.
and you've been all over the world in between there, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been dancing internationally for 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah, loved it. But
Oh.
finally came home to do more Ultra 90s.
Yay! And yourself?
So I'm Leah. I've been working for Ultra 90s for, again, 9 years as well. Kelly used to come to my Zumba class and she just asked me and a couple of others.
I forgot about that.
Do you want to join? So we did.
I love Zumba.
So that's how I got involved.
Right, and where did you train?
Just at sixth form and college in
Right.
Grantham.
And is it something you've always wanted to do? Is it?
Yeah, so I was going to go to uni, but I'm not a uni person.
No.
So I just stayed at home, and then Kelly asked me.
Do you know what? Because I've worked with so many different people all over the years. I think people I'm telling you this. I think people always think that you've got to go and train for stuff all the time, and sometimes on-hand experience is some of the best training that you can get. I've known quite a lot of dancers, and they haven't trained, and they're amazing, and they're doing the job. I'm not saying don't go and train. all I'm saying is that even if you haven't, doesn't mean there's some shockingly amazing dancers out there. And I've
lots of different routes.
Oh, where have you trained? And they're like, I haven't. And you're like, okay.
Lots of different routes into the entertainment
professional.
industry.
Yeah. So just because you don't train doesn't mean you won't get there. So anyway, on to you. What's your name?
I'm Claudia, and I've been working with Ultra 90's since January this year.
Oh, she's a newbie! She's a newbie!
Yeah, I trained at Phil Winston's Theatre Works in Blackpool,
Right.
and I've been dancing since I was 14, so for quite a long time.
And is this the sort of dancing that you've always done, or do you do ballet, tap, modern, stage, everything? What?
I do a lot of different styles. I've done a
Right.
lot of tap and modern, but I do love commercial dancing and this sort of dancing.
And this
as
is
well,
commercial
and
dancing. Right. And you say all choreographed by yourself?
Yes, me and a few others have helped get involved.
Yeah,
and
along the
give
way.
ideas as well,
Do
and
you
Kelly
have-
as well.
I was going to say, do you have any
Yes.
input with the...
Yeah.
Does
I do get a bit
sometimes what you're wearing restrict sometimes what choreography you can do, or does it restrict sometimes when you turn up at a venue and you go, oh, the stage is not very big? Have you ever had a nightmare and you go,
There's a few props.
so where are we going to dance then?
There's a few props in the show now that sometimes we're like, don't know if we're going to be able to do that today. We'll
I
have
think
to.
the wings are as big as some stages.
Oh
aren't
my
they?
goodness, the wings are enormous. You'll love the wings that they are.
Will we expect a lot of costume changes tonight, or is that
There's
not
a
possible
few.
here?
Oh, there's
No,
a few.
all right.
Yes, there's a few.
When you were growing up in the 90s, was there anyone you went to go and see that you liked?
I've actually got a funny story about this. Back in, I don't know what year it was, but we had a nightclub in Grantham, which
Was it Jasper's?
Leah's too young to remember. Yeah,
I
it was
wasn't born
Jasper's.
then.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it was back in the 90s. There's a club in Grantham that's now closed, unfortunately. But that was where we all went on a Friday, Saturday night. But before I was 18, they used to have like touring acts, like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or something, like for under 18s nights. And Peter Andre came to Grantham. Peter Andre actually came to Grantham, and I remember he walked through the crowd. I don't even know what I was doing. I must have been about 15 or something. And I actually put my hands in his hair and down his back as he walked by. And I was just like, oh my God, I just Peter Andre.
Did you go, oh, I'll be your mysterious girl?
That's exactly what I should have done.
I think you should have done all
Could've been
gone
in
like
a
that
video or
down his
something.
abs and go, are those real? Totally are.
Yeah,
yes.
that was a fun thing from the 90s.
Yeah, he's had a fun life. Oh, Peter Andre. Katie Price. Oh, in fact, you did Katie Price's wedding twice.
Yes, we
didn't
did.
you? Yes.
Not to Peter Andre though.
No.
That was Kieran Hayler back in 2013 when they got married after they'd been abroad down in Somerset, and then we did their vow renewal in 2015. That was a pretty cool party, lots of celebs and stuff. And then we also did Ryland Clark's wedding as well, which you've met Ryland Clark as well.
I was just about to say, I'm sure it was Ryland Clark, wasn't it, that got in contact with you to try and sort it all out for her, because they're like that, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they are really good friends. Ryland actually met us at Katie's first wedding, and he said to us, he was like, when I get married, he didn't even have a partner at that time, but he said, yeah, when I get married, I want you guys to play. So that was quite
Oh, so
Yeah, he's ace.
yes, I do like Ryland. So you've got all this work and all the setup and everything that it takes, and you get there and it takes you like 3 hours or so to set everything up. What do you do for food? How do you eat on the road?
cool. Well, we've got someone very special involved, haven't we, guys? My sister, my younger sister Michelle, she comes out on the road with us and she cooks fabulous food. Everyone loves when Shell's, I'm like, oh, Shell's on the gig. They're like, yeah. So she comes in, she cooks all the food for us and takes care of us and just makes sure everybody's in the right place at the right time and all that jazz.
So why is she not here at the moment?
She is here. Shell, come and join us.
Oh, Shell! So what was on the menu today then, Shell?
So we had veggie bake and a nice lasagna.
Because she likes to cater for the vegetarians of us as well.
Who's veggie?
Claudia and Shell herself, and I quite often have veggie.
Anybody else?
No.
So you get all that food for the veggie people.
The meat eaters.
3 of you.
No,
Amazing.
meat eaters have that as well. They're
Oh,
like,
do they?
yeah,
Oh.
they love it.
So, what do we say to Shell's food?
Yay!
You have
love
left
it.
me some, haven't you?
A little bit.
Because it smells lush. I can still smell the aroma of what happened, of what you've all had earlier. So,
Come and see me in the kitchen and I'll
Okay.
sort you something out.
I'm going to go and see Shell because she's going to fit me up with some food. Because I've got to tell you, it smells lush. So, are you all ready?
Yes!
Yeah.
Are you all hyped?
Yes!
Guys, are you going to jump before you start?
Absolutely.
Yes. Shell, you jump as well?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So we want to get you jumping at home as well. So stay tuned and they'll be coming right your way. So get hyped. Woo!
The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now.